Hey y'all, hey y'all. It's your girl Big Legs, and welcome back to the Life of Legs. How y'all doing? Y'all good? You ate today? I had a bowl of cereal. Technically, I ate, but anywho, how y'all doing? Like, really, how you doing? Me, I'm good. I had a good day yesterday, and I just feel a lot better about life. Like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life just yet, but I don't feel like I'm just wasting my life away. So that's a plus. And I mean, that's a lot better than how I was feeling last year. Speaking of last year, if you go back and look through, my episodes, I have deleted a couple, more than a couple. It was like 32 to be exact. 32 episodes. And mainly because when I was going back and listening to them, I was cussing a lot. Not that I don't cuss, because I do. It's just that in this new era and me building a brand, I didn't exactly want that to be my brand. Like, if I was just going to, I don't know, let's say somebody was just listening to a random episode and they're like, oh my gosh, she cusses a lot. I wouldn't want that to be their impression of me. I'd rather them listen to episodes where I'm just being me without all of the negativity per se. So, yeah. In building my brand, I just needed to clean up my image for one, and I had to start somewhere. So, here we are. And it was also as much as a tough decision because one of those episodes was like one of my, I think it's my number 2 or 3 episode now, like the top episodes that was listened to, and it's what got me a lot of views around this time last year. Like, that was when my podcast just started taking off at first, and I didn't understand why, but I don't know, I can't answer that now. All I could say is it had to go. So yeah, here we are. My episodes start back in September, and now it's actually April 1st of 2024, which is crazy. It's April Fool's Day. But anywho, I just had to make sure that my podcast is up to par with the new goals that I want for it, how I want it to be going forward. Like, because it's something I've seen myself doing for the rest of my life. And yes, I downloaded the old episodes so that at any given time I could just post them or go back and listen to them. And, that's my history, right? Because I learned so much about myself listening to myself in ways that I would have ignored if somebody else said it, if that makes sense. And I mean, I just love having that for me. I love having this for me. Like, this is my thing, if that makes sense. But I also try not to stress about, like, okay, well, what else can I do besides the podcast, or what can I do with the podcast? And I always go back to this one dream that I've had since like a little girl. Do I want to be a singer or not? Because now I don't even know if I want to sing in English, if I want to sing in Spanish. Like, do I want to do both? Right? Do I want to sing R&B? Do I want to sing corridos? Do I want to sing banda? Do I want to sing country? Damn it. Like, I don't know. I don't know where I fit in the music industry, and that's okay because it gives me flexibility. Like, I can sing English and Spanish. I can even sing German if needed. Okay? Like, I can sing R&B. I can go to town, like, on an old school R&B songs. Like, ain't no way that I can love you if you won't let me. Right? Like, I can do that. Or I can do mariachi. Like, at no point in time, like, you really can't guess when I'm start singing. Yo me acabé dos cartones, tomé tequila montones, y olvido no ha llegado. Right, like, I'm just so versatile. So I don't know what to do with that versatility, but it may just work in my favor. Who knows? But I don't want to just spend my life thinking like, well, what if I never just fully went for that dream? Like, every time I just wanted to go for that dream, something happened and I got distracted, right? And who's to say that will never work out for me? Like, who's to say that I may never make an album? You can't say that, and I can't say that because I don't know the future. But if that's what God has for me, then look out for the album, y'all. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. And if I'm not meant to be a singer, maybe I'm just meant to sing sometimes, like I just did right then. Like, that wasn't even my best. That wasn't even top tier. That was just a little something. That was just a little snippet. Okay, I can really get into it, but I didn't want to do that today. I didn't want to, baby steps. Anywho, but what if I meant to just talk? Like, what if, because I do commentary sometimes on TMZ, and what if that's what I'm meant to do? Like, because I actually enjoy doing it. I enjoy, like, the rush of praying and asking God, like, what am I going to say? Send the right words to me, please, because I don't know. And it's usually about, like, hot topics with celebrities. And it just gets me to thinking, like, well, one day if I'm a so-called celebrity, somebody's going to be commenting on my life. And I would want them to comment about my life the same way I comment about other people's lives, because I'm not here to tear anybody down. I just want you to know that this is what has been brought to my attention. This is what I feel about it, okay? Point blank, period. And some people, they really give their opinions. And they're like, well, I don't think blah, 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 or I don't know. I don't really watch the show. I just know my part, right? And I work on making my part better. Like, every time they ask, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And I try my best to do my best. So what if singing's not my thing? What if talking is more my thing? Like giving interviews, being a commentator, like an on-air personality, talk show host. I don't know. Like, I see a talk show in my future. I see me sitting people down on the couch and be like, what's wrong with you? Why are you like that? Okay, and we actually get to the nitty-gritty of why they're like this. But, there's steps and levels to the ish. And I'm willing to take those necessary steps to get there. But I also have to be okay with the step I'm at, right? And so at the step I'm at, I have this podcast, The Life of Lex. And I also realized the other day that the initials of The Life of Lex were LOL. LOL. Anywho, that's the Gen Z telling on me. Because Gen Z, we made the rules. We, like, my generation of Gen Z, so I'm at the top of Gen Z. So we laid down the foundation of the buffoonery that the younger Gen Z is, riding along with. I created the buffoonery. I own up to that. But at this point in my life, I don't want to take part in any buffoonery. So, yeah, I just blended in with the millennials at some point. And I actually thought I was a millennial for a long time. And then I realized I was Gen Z. And I was like, oh, so that's why the younger kids are like this. Because my generation, we messed some things up. But we're not going to get into all that. And funny that I mentioned that, Gen Z, because that's what I created this podcast for, because it was originally Get Your Shit Together with Muriel. And I wanted to just give life advice to the younger generations of Gen Z. But I feel like I was doing too much cussing for anybody's child to be listening, for one, okay? And two, I didn't know what I was doing with my life, so how am I going to give you advice? Like, I don't know. School isn't the same anymore. Like, I'm not in an actual school for me to give you advice on how to survive school, because when I was in school, right, they still didn't know what like firewalls and stuff were. We were having VPNs and they didn't know anything about it. We had a whole fight week, right, because everybody had a VPN, so we could still access the internet and still do iMessage and whatnot, because they blocked it on the regular internet. And so everybody was messaging and going back and forth. There was fights all week long. And then they cut that out. Like, we FA'd, and then they FO'd. Okay? Anywho, back to me. So, yeah. With the podcast, I realized that me just talking and getting out my issues and helping myself, which I didn't realize in the moment, it would be after I would stop recording. I realized, like, wow, I actually solved some of my problems, or it felt good to get that off my chest. Because a lot of things I wasn't just telling people. Like, you'd have to hang around me to get to know that much about me, or me to feel extremely comfortable with you to get to know that part of me. But also, I just felt like in such a public format, if I get my own story out, no one can go back and change it. Nobody can say, well, oh, this and this happened. Like, you can go hear it from this horse's mouth on the Life of Lex podcast. Like, I'm telling my truth, nothing but the truth. I don't have anything to lie about. Like, not really. But anywho, I am just going to enjoy the fact that I do have something going for myself. And whether or not anything else, like any of my other dreams per se, work out for me, I'm going to make it my business that this works out for me, right? Because why not? Like, I'm not harming anybody to just sit here and talk to myself and talk about my problems and come up with my own solutions. Like, as much as I would love to just sit and talk about other people's lives and come up with solutions for their lives, I don't think they're as interesting as me. So you put that together. And I made this like the Life of Lex because as long as I am alive and my middle name is Alexis, the Life of Lex will continue. Like, I may take a hiatus, a break, a siesta, which is just a nap, but I'm gonna be back, okay? I'm going to be back. I will find a microphone somewhere. Like, I went from a $2 little headset starting this podcast to this microphone that I got off of Amazon. And then I went from that to bare bones Apple headphones, like with the wires, okay, that I got off eBay a long time ago. Like, I'm surprised they still work. But y'all was rocking with me then, and if you're rocking with me now, thank you. Like, I appreciate it. And I just hope you feel comfortable enough to just keep rocking with me, keep checking in on me, seeing how I'm doing, if I'm off my rocker or not, because I'm pretty sure all of those episodes I deleted, I was not in my right mind, not completely, but I was very delusional. And we're going to put that delusion to rest, okay? Because there's no need in me dwelling on all the pain I experienced last year, because that's over. I have to let that go and stick with what I know, basically, because I know that it was all for a purpose. I know that God was with me every step of the way. I know that God picked me up off the floor and gave me a purpose, right? I know that God sent me on this earth with a purpose. I may have forgotten it along the way. Excuse the Kim Possible ringtone, y'all. But yeah, I just know that my life won't be in vain as long as I just stick with God and stick to what God has called for me in this life. And whatever that is, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to take y'all with me. I'm going to tell y'all all about it, tell y'all how I feel about it, what's going on with me, the whole shebang, okay? But I just thank God that when he picked me up off the floor, and, weeping may endure for a night, but in the morning joy comes. I woke up and realized that, well, I have a podcast. Let me go do it. And I just kept doing it and kept doing it. Some days I was doing it like every day. I'm pretty sure I did it twice a day at one point. But it doesn't matter now. What matters is that I'm still here and it's only up from here. And with that being said, I love y'all again. Thank y'all for listening. And love, peace, and chicken grease. And just do me one favor. You can fuck up somebody's day today because it's April Fool's Day, but tomorrow's April 2nd. So don't be fucking up nobody's day then, because it ain't gonna be funny. Okay? Okay. Bye.